Hello, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Dr. Katrina Adkins with SHI, and today I have the pleasure of talking with Daren Hubbard, Vice President of Information Technology and Chief Information Officer for Georgia Tech. Good morning, Daren. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well. How are you today?
I am wonderful. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here with you, and I'm anxious to learn more about you. So let's start by, if you'd be able to tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into information technology.
Sure. So as the title on my screen says, Daren Hubbard. I'm currently the Vice President for Information Technology and Chief Information Officer at Georgia Institute of Technology, commonly known as Georgia Tech. So a little bit about myself. I've been a higher ed IT professional basically my entire career. I'm at my third institution now, and I kind of got into IT in a weird way. It started with an undergraduate research program that I was a participant in my undergrad days, and the project had a focus using technology to advance history of photography, and so we were able to develop and design really an interactive program to display images. And so I kind of got into that and it was really exciting. And I thought, man, this is something I didn't think I had an affinity for. And so I took a couple more classes but inside of my program that I was doing and ended up really enjoying not only databases, but also graphic design and other things. And so from there, literally got into a role where it was part sort of a program officer, part IT person. Did that for a few years and then started a graduate program and got into a new role at another institution where it was solid IT. And that's been the last 24 years or so. And I've really just haven't looked back. And so it's really been one of those type of evolutionary stories where I didn't, if you had asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? When I was 21, I wouldn't have even known that this role that I'm sitting in today existed. But the sort of opportunity set inside of information technology is so broad and wide that I've been very fortunate to have great opportunities put before me and really pushed and grown and developed in ways that have been beneficial for myself, but also for the organizations that I've worked for.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah, growing up, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. So, and I started as a kindergarten teacher, so I had no idea that I would be where I am now as well. So our stories are similar in that regard. Your journey is wonderful, and it's great to hear more about it. Something that I noticed as I was looking online and at some of your work, and I noticed you're very active on social media, which I love. So what types of information do you enjoy posting? And how does that information that you post translate over to your current work?
Sure. So I think, to be fair, I mean, there are folks who are a lot more active than I am, but I appreciate that you're able to see some of the things that we share. I typically like to share information about things that my team is working on and initiatives that we're really kind of at the center of and really want to bring some attention to, sort of in my professional capacity. And so with that, it's been nice that we got somewhat of a following in terms of the things that we do and the initiatives that we've been either participants in or the champion of. And so with that, we like to really try to bring attention to some of those great efforts that are going on our campus, and also things that are really applicable to everyone, no matter where they are, and just show a little bit of the flavor of how we are either dealing with that issue or solving that issue here at Georgia Tech. And so I try to be very specific about the things that we are sharing in terms of their relationship to our team, but actually have them be relevant to whomever may be following us or looking to see what we're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you. You mentioned that you post a lot about the initiatives that you're working on. What are some of those initiatives you're working on, or maybe just one of those that you're very excited about?
Sure. One of the bigger ones that we spent a lot of time and I think we've gotten a lot of traction on is we call it data excellence, and it's part of our institute's strategic planning initiatives, set of campus-wide initiatives. And for data specifically, we framed it as data excellence because it encompasses a large number of initiatives that we are trying to kind of bring under this single umbrella. And in that, it's really around data governance, around security, privacy, and risk. We try to deal with data services, so the ability for people on our campus to really interact and use and leverage the data that we either generate or have access to. Identity and access management is also a piece of that, and we bring that in to play as well. We try to deal with system modernization so that we are always keeping up to date with the tools that we make available for the campus and the tools that we actually leverage to maintain our data infrastructure. And then finally, we really have a big focus on customer engagement, which really speaks to your prior question in terms of why we use it, why are we on social media, what are we posting about? We really want to create an environment where there's a lot of opportunity for people to participate and to really know and be aware of all the things that are going on the campus and be able to leverage it and use it in their day-to-day activities. And so the data excellence is one thing that we've been working on for over a year now, but we got a couple other initiatives, both in security and also in, I'll call it broadly, sort of administrative and operational excellence as well. So we try to improve our capabilities to be able to provide service to our campus, in addition to really trying to fine tune process and just get better at our regular everyday responsibilities and subject areas that we're tasked to provide for the campus.
So I know you are leading these efforts, but do you have a team that works with you on these initiatives?
Yes, we've got a broad team. I mean, we've really gone across the campus to pull in both faculty, researchers, students to participate, because one of the fundamental tenets of this data excellence project is this concept that we call data democracy, and it's really about creating an environment and really making sure that that environment is as inclusive as possible of all the different community stakeholders that we have, so that they can all both extract value from the data, but also be able to participate fully in both its security and its actual use for advancing whatever it is that they may be focused on. So whether it's a student who needs to access research data and be able to integrate that into their education plan or their learning, or a faculty person who really wants to see student success performance data, or just from an administrative standpoint, knowing where we are from a budgetary standpoint at any given time. All those things really do have a core that they share, which is our ability to maintain value and security for those different data sets. And so again, trying to pull everything together and make sure that everyone has both the opportunity and then also a shared responsibility of sorts to protect and really get the extended value of all the data that we create.
That's wonderful. You mentioned students. How does some of the work that you do truly impact the students on campus?
Sure. Well, one thing that I've always really focused on throughout my career is, at a higher education institution, we are primarily focused on, learning outcomes and creating knowledge, and really the entirety of that whole teaching and learning and research ecosystem. And so students are at the core of that. And there's not much you can do at an institution of higher education without at some point getting close to or impacting directly the student experience. And so we really try to make sure that we are not just putting things out and hoping that they resonate. We really like to get in-depth conversation and really partner with students to hear what their concerns are and ensure that the experience that they have, whether it be from a registration point of view or really purchasing food or getting into their dorm rooms, whatever their experience may be, we want to make sure that that is as excellent as it can be. And so a lot of that really does depend upon and sort of rest upon our technology infrastructure that's providing day-to-day services to them. And so we want to hear directly from them to make sure that we're not missing the mark and that we really are responsive to their needs. And as best we can, try to anticipate some of the solutions that we may have to bring to the table in order to advance and accelerate what they're able to do while they're on our campus. So yeah, we really take our relationship with the students seriously. We set up a advisory council, and we try to meet with the students as frequently as we can to hear directly from them.
I love that. Student voice is definitely key to any project or initiative that a college or university may be working on. So that's wonderful to hear. Thank you, Daren, for joining me today. Please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews.